What's up, YouTube? NBA Jerry here. Hope everybody had a good weekend. No pictures in this video. I'm just gonna, I'm recording this before I go to bed. I just got done watching Game of Thrones, man. What an episode. I'm a big fan of Game of Thrones. But the playoffs are rolling, man. Great series, great games. Let's get into the Saturday games with the Knicks and the Pacers. A great game by Roy Hibbert and the Pacers. Man, Knicks are in trouble. I know it's only 2-1, but if the Knicks go down, 3-1, this series is over with. I'm sorry, the Knicks can't come back from that. So Game 4 is the biggest game of the season for the Knicks. Tyson Chandler looked like a shell of himself. Roy Hibbert looked like Wilt Chamberlain out there, man. He was unstoppable. And Carmelo Anthony, he fell off a little bit in that game. And I told you guys this. The Knicks live and die by jumpers, and they don't have an inside presence. The Knicks' best inside scorer is Carmelo Anthony, and that's not going to get it done in the playoffs. They are a really good team. Mari Stoudemire, he made an appearance and stuff like that. If he was healthy all season, they had him. I think they could have beat the Pacers, but with him, just like Chandler was a shell of himself, he's not fully recovered. I think the buck stops here for the Knicks, especially if they lose Game 4. I'm pulling for them in Game 4. I want them to win because I want all the series to go 7. I want the NBA playoffs to go as long as they can. But hey, we'll see what happens with that. And then you got the Thunder and the Grizzlies. A great performance, man, by the Grizzlies. They gutted it out, and they're a team, man. And me and the Half Truth was talking about this. They remind me of the 2003-2004 Detroit Pistons. Especially with Tayshaun Prince there. But they, obviously they have a bigger front court than the Pistons had with Marc Gasol. But them boys play good team ball, man. And the Thunder, without Westbrook, this is going to be tough, man. They need that second scorer. Reggie Jackson's playing good. He stepped his game up. Serge Ibaka, he's struggling a little bit, especially in the first quarters. But, hey, the Thunder are in a must-win situation too. Not as bad as the Knicks. If the Thunder go down 3-1, they'll still have a chance. But it's going to be tough against this Grizzlies team because those guys are competitors. Like Lionel said, those guys are screaming at each other and yelling at each other. They want to win. You know what I'm saying? And without Russell Westbrook, losing him at this time of the season, that's tough, man. If they lost him in the middle of the season and they could have had time to adjust, I mean, I probably still would have picked the Grizzlies, but losing him in the first round of the playoffs and not having a lot of time to adjust without him, man, it's just going to be so tough. So, hey, we'll see what happens. And then today's game, only one game today, great contest between the Golden State Warriors and the Spurs. The Spurs had this game, on lock, but then they went cold a little bit. Golden State got hot. Took it to overtime, and then they couldn't hit the side of a barn, the San Antonio Spurs, in overtime. And Stephen Curry, he's such a great player, but he's not 100%. But hey, it was a great game by both teams. Both teams play hard, and it was a great series. That series tied 2-2. Knicks are down 2-1, and the Grizzlies are up 2-1. Now let me follow up to what I was talking about. I got to talk about LeBron. You know that. And boy, oh boy, I read some of those comments that I made about LeBron, my video. LeBron James, the most disrespected superstar in NBA history. And I'm going to follow it up a little bit. Now, first of all, folks, I don't condone violence, okay? I'm not saying that the man should have came out there and jumped on him or punched him or pushed him back or put his hands on him. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I'm talking about his reaction to the whole thing. Now, I'm not an idiot, folks. Now, let me explain something. I don't want LeBron James to get thrown out of the game. I don't want him to react and fight and all that stuff. So I know what you guys are saying. You're like, well, damn, NBA Jerry, what you want the man to do? What do you want him to do? Well, let me tell you what I want him to do. And it's not up to me to tell the man what to do or anybody would. He can do what he wants, But as my favorite player, and we all do this, we live through our favorite players sometimes, that's why I do this channel. That's why we watch sports. We not live and die by them literally, but when we're watching them, we try to put ourselves in their shoes and we say, hey man, we want them to win, because they kind of represent us. When they miss a shot or they're playing good, it's like, hey, that's our favorite team or our favorite player, and that's what we do. So when LeBron James does something I don't like, this is Jerry's NBA Talk TV. It's like my journal. I voiced my disgust, and I just wish he would do something different. So, enough of that tangent. Here's what I would want LeBron James to do. I want him to change his reaction at least. At least pretend. Now, go back and look at the play, folks. When he got pushed down, he just sat there. And I'm not talking about just sat there and then, played it cool and said, oh, I'm not going to get thrown out of the game. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is his facial expression, how he looked. Listen, man, if he would have got up mad and bit his lip and walked away, like, you know how you bite your lip and you clench your fist, like, oh man, you lucky, you're lucky that I can't do nothing because I'm getting kicked out the game, and he's getting angry with his, getting angry within himself, saying, oh man, you lucky, man, you lucky you did that in an NBA game, and I can't do nothing back to you, or something like that. Show some kind of fire or fight about yourself, man. That's all I'm saying. I'm not telling anybody or saying him, he should hit anybody or do anything violent. I don't condone violence. You know what I'm saying? But when somebody puts their hands on you, you got to let them know that they can't do that. I don't care what setting you're in. Now, I know LeBron James has kids. I know he's a role model. I know he's all about the children and making a good example. But at the same time, you are still a man out here, man. And I don't care what y'all say. Look at Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Everybody, for the most part, is making fun of LeBron James. A lot of people are calling him a punk, and he punked out and stuff like that. And in the public opinion, he's getting that name for himself. Basically, people are calling him kind of like a punk and stuff. And that's what I don't want from my favorite player. That's why I said what I said in the video. I didn't say he needs to hurt anybody or anything like that. I don't condone violence. But at the same time, if that was Dwayne Wade or Norris Cole or Mario Chalmers, they would have reacted different. You know what I'm saying? But LeBron James, and here's what I'm saying, folks. Hey, he is who he is, and he's going to do what he does. LeBron James is not that type of guy, okay? And I get frustrated with him, meaning the type of guy who gets, angry and have that fight in him. He's not that type of dude. Let's just say he went back. We go back to that play. He gets pushed down. He does the exact same thing. He just sits there and does nothing. Same look on his face, like he's, he did his face and all that stuff. Now, what he should have did after that, he should have went off on Chicago. Now, I know what y'all going to say. Oh, look at the points. Listen, I don't give a damn about what he did in the fourth quarter. I'm not talking about that. Because this happened in the third quarter, folks. I know he had a good fourth quarter. He's a great player. Of course he's going to play good. He didn't play good because that happened to him, because he got pushed and got embarrassed. That's not why he did it. He did it because he's a great player. The reason why I said I didn't like his reaction is because he checked out for a few minutes. Now, that's my opinion, but I watched the game and go back and look at it. I'm telling you, man, after he got fouled and all that stuff happened and Muhammad got thrown out the game, look what he did, man. He went to the basket, missed a layup. They pulled him out of the game. And look at his body language, man. That man checked out. And I know what y'all going to say. Oh, he can't do nothing because of the technicals. And, oh, he's going to get thrown out the game. And I understand that. I'm not telling y'all. I'm telling you to tell him or whatever to get thrown out the game and act like an idiot. I'm not, because I guess some of y'all must have just not heard me in the video or something. I don't know, because of the comments I'm reading. And hey, it's your opinion. You can say what you want. I got people sending me hate mail, boy, about that video I made. But all I'm saying is I want the man to have a little bit of fight in me. And that's just me talking. That's just my opinion. You can, hey, if you think he did the right thing, then hey, he did the right thing. But to me, and none of y'all are going to change my mind as far as the people telling me that he should have did what he did. I don't accept that from my favorite player. And none of y'all going to make me change my mind about that. And I respect you guys' opinion and all that stuff, but at the same time, I want my favorite player to stand up for himself, have some fight about himself. And I don't mean hit him or touch him or nothing like that, but at least protect yourself and let people know that nobody can put their hands on you and do things like that to you. And even you don't have to beat them up or do something like that, but at least go out there and play more aggressive and go to the basket and dunk on them and do something. And he had a good fourth quarter and all that, but it wasn't because of what happened in the third quarter with Nazr Muhammad. All right, he kind of, got out of that after that. But I'm telling you, man, for like 10 or 15 minutes of real time, that man checked out. You know what I'm saying? For the people that don't disagree with me, I'm sorry, but go back and watch the tape. But I just wanted to clear that air real quick. I'm probably going to talk about it a little bit more. But hey, I'm looking forward to more NBA playoffs. This is a great second round. Of course, the second round it gets more competitive. Leave your comments under my channel. Let me know what you guys think about what I'm saying about the playoff games and also about LeBron James being the most disrespected superstar in NBA history. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.